From blueprints to bliss, let's get popping with another episode of Plant Co. Playbook. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are looking right here as we get ready to look at the new Sorcerer's DLC. Now, why am I showing you Tillywind's Twirl, our teacup ride? And why am I over here? Well, the reason being is because today's DLC that was released has a big thing to do with this little pathway leading through these trees. Now, that little hill over there is going to be the focal point of our new attraction coming soon using the Sorcerer DLC. This little hill right here. And just to kind of give you an idea of the scale of what Winslow Everhart and I have planned for Everhart Kingdom and Bramblewick Hollow, our fantasy area, I want you to see this giant hollowed out area that our construction team began excavating just a few weeks ago. That's the scale of what we are going to build soon. And to show you some of the things we're going to be using, we're going to look at the new DLC that just came out today, September 16th, 2025, and we're going to show you all the pieces that came with it and all of the things that we're going to be using in this area. Look at that. So when I opened up Planet Coaster today, Planet Coaster 2, I saw it right there on the bottom left and bottom right, and of course, I had to get it. And right there, Update 7 installed. So you can see there are a whole bunch of new things about it, some new updates, and we are ready to show you all of it. So, let's go down here to our area where the construction team has already excavated for our new building that's going to go there, our new attraction. And we are going to open up our content pack here. And I cannot tell you how excited Winslow and I were when we saw all of this provided by the creation team at Frontier Developments. And we are going to show you all of this. So let's start with this piece here, the armillary, I think it's called. I don't know how to say that properly. But all of these pieces we're going to show you right here are colorable and scalable, so you can customize these. Now, the piece doesn't really rotate that fast, but I do have this in a higher speed so we can kind of just show you an overview of everything and not take forever to do it. So you'll notice the rotation on that's pretty fast. Look at that glow coming off of there as we changed some color and added some light to it. And we're going to show you a bunch of these right now, pieces that have color and light and that are customizable like that, and the nice soft glow they put below them and around them. And these are things you're going to be able to use in your sorceries labs, your attractions, your buildings, your restaurants, and you can resize these, color them any way you want, and these are going to look incredible in our new attraction that we're already planning. So we'll show you some more of these a little bit quicker here just to kind of give you an idea, and we'll color some of them up. How do you think you're going to use these? Put a comment below. Let us know. What are you thinking of doing with all of these pieces? What do you think of this being, I think, the largest DLC ever released by Frontier for Planet Coaster or Planet Coaster 2 in this case? So what do you think? What pieces do you think you're going to use first? And let us know down below there. And make sure, of course, that you like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you can follow us through this journey. So, we are going to be looking at all of these pieces here. And right now what I've done is I've just kind of pulled out the pieces that have light and glowy things on them so you can kind of get an idea of how all of these look. Again, these are all resizable, recolorable. I'll probably say that a lot today, just as a reminder that these things are not static. These are really great things that we all have. Now, there were some other updates also as part of this sorcery update, this sorcery pack, and I'll briefly go over those. So basically, there are a couple of attractions, and we'll show you some of those later. There is the Automax bike and sidecar coaster. There's the Vector Child coaster, the Flying Theater flat ride, the Gale Force flat ride, and the Automax LSM raid coaster. We'll be showing you some of this later, and we'll be building with some of that even later on. So Let's take a look here. We've also got some animatronics that are sorcery themed. The new magical entertainer, his name is Vesper, according to Frontier, and we will show you him a little bit later. And there's also a few improvements they made, so now you can do your sandbox biomes or career sandbox templates as a starting point and use those to complete your challenges and get cash rewards in the game and continue leveling up to the park. You can also take those challenge and sandbox parks and convert them, your challenge parks and convert them into sandbox parks so you can keep building, customizing, and improving your dream theme park. The 3-axis grid system is now improved so you can actually rotate buildings on all 3 axes. You may have seen that in the Frontier video that they put out the other day when they were talking about this. So you can actually make tilted buildings and all kinds of cool things. We also have square-cornered paths now for making our cattle pen type pathways and square-edged paths. This is going to make square queues so much easier again, just like it was in Planet Coaster 1. So we're looking forward to that, and even just as well is the new conform tool with terrain, so that we can use our paths on terrain that we've already got, like gentle little rolling hills and things. You can now conform your path to that. So you'll want to get really good at terraforming and smoothing your pathways. You can see we got that spider there and a little wiggly spider abdomen, a spider butt, wiggling on that the giant webs there. And you can see I put the legs in the wrong place. I don't know much about spiders, so the legs are in the wrong place, but you get the idea of what's possible there. You can make weird-looking spiders, I guess, mutant spiders. This little piece here, this Gothic plaque, I think would look cool as a tombstone, and I'm hoping we get some more pieces that look kind of like that could be used to make tombstones. You could probably combine some of these pieces to do that as well and make nice little graveyards out of them. But also, getting back to the update, moving platforms. So you now have radio platforms where you can use those to rotate pieces and make them move in different directions than we ever were able to do before. We have all kinds of great things here in this sorcery pack, and we will be using a lot of that in our fantasy area as we build haunted attractions and eventually some Halloween and other holiday themed items in this park, themed attractions in this park. Look at this color on these, how you can change the colors of these cauldrons and the flames and the smoke and everything, and they actually do put off a nice soft glow around them. And as you'll see, we'll move these closer to those pieces behind them, and you'll see how that glow kind of reflects off those surfaces and adds a little bit more color and texture to our parks here. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? So let's take a look at this stuff in daytime, because we're going to look at other pieces now. And as you've already seen, we've got statues and relief carvings and all kinds of cool stuff. So now we'll get more into the building pieces like doors and windows, walls of all different shapes and sizes and textures. And of course, most of these, if not all of these, are colorable, and most of these are resizable. So you'll be able to scale them up and down and make them fit your area, kind of get more of that, what is that called? Force perspective, if you want to build your buildings and attractions with that kind of a look. Now, force perspective is something we'll get a little more into here on PlanCo Playbook in the future, as we get more into teaching you how to design a little more. Lately, we've been talking a lot about Winslow Everhart, the founder and creator of Everhart Kingdom, the park you're looking at now. He is the one, if you haven't yet heard some of his storyline, we do have videos on our channel where we start talking about Winslow Everhart and his creation of this park. So we've got a whole lore surrounding our story here. And so make sure you follow along and join us for that adventure. We'd really like to have you along, and that would be great. So just remember, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and you won't miss any of our videos. We're filming about once a week right now, just due to time constraints and not being able to spend a whole lot of time making videos for you, but we are planning on making more videos as we go into the future here as time allows, and we're hoping to start uploading 2 to 3 times a week as soon as we get more things done. So with you helping to support our channel by commenting and following along, that makes it more and more possible for us to do more and more often. So if you would kindly do that, we would appreciate it. Now, let's take a look at some of these pieces. Look at this. We've got all these different columns and walls and decorations and bases and all these things to build on. It's absolutely incredible. And I just wanted to, say again, thank you to the guys at Frontier for making all this possible. Look at these little decorations and things that can go on top of walls and buildings and these roof pieces here, the spires and everything. Look at this. This is absolutely awesome. And again, you'll see us using these in this area really, really soon, because we're going to be building here, along with building in our western area again. And as some of you already know, we've started building in our adventure area, Expedition Delta, and Expedition Delta will get some work as well. We recently built a Sway mine coaster over there. Still a little bit in the early stages, but if you go check out that video, you'll see our swaying coaster being built inside of a hollow mountain that we put together. Now, here we have some decorations that go on some walls. These look great. These will help our buildings really stand out, and we even have these domed roofs. They call them turret rounds, but those are going to be awesome. Look at this. Just the look of these pieces. And then these decorative pieces here, this nice gothic look to everything. This is going to be absolutely awesome. Now here we're looking at these sigils, and we're going to show you some really cool stuff about these sigils. And if anything convinces you to get this DLC pack, this might be it right here. Look at this. We're going to go to nighttime, and these pieces glow, like animated glow about them. And we're going to show you, you can kind of see a little bit there, but we're going to show you in a moment, once we get these colored up a little bit, we're going to show that these have a super cool special effect to them. And we'll show you that in just a moment here. After we rotate around, these have volumetric light coming off of them. Look at that. Volumetric light coming off of them, glowing in a way that is absolutely awesome. We'll take a look at these in daytime, and you can see the colors are just great. So I am definitely making sure that Winslow, sorry, I can't get his name right today. I am making sure that Winslow and I make good use of these in the future. So these here can be used on lampposts, buildings, and other things to hold signs or lanterns, whatever you would like. I'm scaling some of these up just so you can get a better look at them. And you can see that they do scale, and these will be very useful in your parks, I'm sure. We've got lampposts in different parts, so you can add arms to your lampposts. You can add these signs to your fences, walls, lampposts, and other pieces, and direct people where they need to go in your parks. And we have multiple signs. We've got these chains over here, 2 different sizes, and I think I accidentally took one out there, but I'll put it back. Now you can see you have 2 different sizes of chains, colorable, of course. They have these picnic tables, the sorcery picnic tables. So we'll lay down a little piece of path over here, and we'll show you what those tables look like when they're sitting on the ground. And we have a few other pieces that we'll put there later, so you can kind of get a look at everything. So here's a sorcery table with its nice decoration on there, that purple like cloth-like material that goes across the seats that looks great. And we have these stones, these like rocks that could be used. Imagine building like a small little, like a facade for your building with these, or placing some wizards on them, or animated pieces, or some lights, or whatever you want to put on there. We've got these awnings that are actually kind of cool because you can use them in 2 different directions, and I'll show you what I mean here. You can use them one way or the other, and place signage on these, or text. We've got this one here, and look at this one. Look at the shininess of that brass or copper that's on the edges there. Absolutely awesome. Got some windows here, and those can be used for your restaurants and shops and and rides, your queue areas, your facades, castles, buildings, whatever you want to use them for. I've already got some incredible ideas for those. We're going to move back over here and show you some of the smaller props here. We've got like a book here that could be used as a sorcerer's book, a spell book maybe. You can use those as props in your different attractions. And then here we've got another sign, and they've got these nice hooks on them so that those hooks can, you can use the chains or whatever, ropes, to hang your signs using those hooks. And this one here as well also has hooks on it, so you can use those. And there you go. More signage there, and you can put your text on those and everything. And these are pretty cool, these hanging parchments. And when you zoom in, you can kind of see there's some writing on there, some like magical spells or something. This is really cool, this big sign. I'm already imagining using this for an attraction sign or a restaurant sign. I think would be great. And then here we've got this one that looks like a cauldron. I like that one a lot. A lot of these remind me of a specific movie about a young wizard. You probably can kind of figure that out, and that'll take us later to the roller coaster attraction that we'll look at in a little while with the sidecars. That will probably also remind you of that same movie or series of movies, I guess I could say. We've got more signage here, and this really cool spider. It says it's a hanging spider, but I just kind of sat him down there. You could probably put him on one of those web pieces we saw earlier on a building, or you could just put him on the side of a building maybe. You got a frog there that's upside down. We'll flip him over. And we've got like a little half frog here that we'll bring up in a second. There he is. He could sit on the edge of a building or on a side of a wall. And a lot of building pieces. We got these beams of different shapes and sizes, and I really like that they gave us arched wood pieces in Planet Coaster 2, not just here for the sorcery pack, but also in the base game as well. You have a lot of these arched pieces of wood that can be used. Here we've got these really great looking chimneys, kind of crooked, and they'll fit great within a fantasy or sorcerer theme, magical theme. And I did miss one there, the little one, but that's okay. We'll just you can look at it right there at the bottom of the screen. What I really like about these pieces here, these gables and different things, is they've added a lot of the trim and the roof pieces for us, which makes building roofs a lot quicker and easier these days, as opposed to having to try to find pieces that fit and putting the right pieces in the right places and building on grids and all that. These pieces can all be rotated, meaning that once you have everything in place and you build these together and scale them the way you want, you can rotate these and build your crooked buildings and all kinds of cool stuff that goes great in those kinds of themed areas. We've got our walls here of different sizes and lengths, and some more trim and everything here of different materials, more doors coming over here. And of course, again, all able to be colored and scaled, so you can make them fit any scale and color scheme that you may have. Now, in the future, we're going to get into a little bit more of color theory as well, and how colors work together. You'll see a lot of color being used together here, like purples and yellows, and blues and yellows, and greens and purples and things. And we'll get into how and why those colors work so great together, and when it's best to use those. But for now, let's look at these. Look at these big pieces of tree bark. Now, you could use those as like a facade piece on a building, or maybe just as pieces on their own, making walkways with them and things, walls. And then, of course, we have all these tree pieces, which I can't believe how many pieces they put in here just for the trees alone. And some of these pieces look a little bit like hands or arms, and that would be really cool. You could build your own trees that look like they're alive, like they're creatures of sorts. And a couple of these pieces coming up here, I forgot to turn them and show you the other side. And it looks like a couple may have like little faces on them, like this one. I think has a face on the other side, but I'm not sure. I forgot to rotate these two pieces, and so they may have faces on those. Don't quote me on that yet. I'll have to take another look, and of course we'll see those as we build out this area of Bramblewick Hollow, our fantasy area here in Everheart Kingdom. More pieces here that look kind of like hands and bodies and different things, so you can use your imagination there, and I'm sure you can figure out ways to use those to enhance your parks. We've got some grid pieces here, and the way to tell that they're grid pieces is obviously they'll snap to a grid, but when you look at them down there in the menu, you can see that they have like a grid line, like grid lines behind them, graph lines. That tells you that those are grid pieces. And so as far as I know, these only rotate on the grid. These ones cannot be rotated in any direction like the other pieces can. As far as I know, I could be wrong, and we'll find out as we go forward here in the future, but as far as I know, these pieces do not rotate in 360. Now, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, because then I can kind of correct that later on. So we've got all these different pieces you can use, and we're not even all the way through this yet, and look how many pieces we already have. Now, I'm not sure of the exact count, but there's a lot. There's a lot between our animated pieces and our little props, our grid pieces here, our walls and ceilings and roofs and beams and just everything that's in here so far, all of our windows and doors. It's absolutely incredible. What pieces are your favorites so far? What do you think you're going to make the most use out of when you get to building your park with this DLC? That would be a great thing to know if you have any of those. And if you are building parks, whether it's with this DLC or the base game or whatever you've got, let us know. Put a link in the description below if you have a video up. We'll go check it out. Not in the description, in the comments below, and we'll go check it out. And maybe leave a comment for you on your channel as well. If you have things that you see here or that you share in the blueprints, we'd like you to share those as well. We would like to go see your blueprints, and if we happen to use them anywhere in Everheart Kingdom, we will make sure to give you credit and put your name or your name and share code to your pieces that you have in the workshop. We'll make sure to do that for you. We have done that in the past when we were building some of our other area, the entrance to Bramblewick Hollow, our fantasy area. We did use some stuff from other creators, and if you go to those videos and you look in the description, you'll find those items are listed there along with the share codes. So we definitely will be glad to do that for you as well. You can see all these pieces. Look at all these grid pieces still coming up. There are just so many of these. I'm still in awe at the guys at Frontier putting these together for us and giving it to us, and letting us have these things for our parks. When I say give, I mean they're sharing their talents and such. I know we have to purchase this DLC, which was only $12.99 US, and it's pretty close to that in I think pounds. The same, I think it's like 12 something in pounds, and then there are other denominations. I think the euro and other prices there, but you can find that on their website. But for the amount of stuff we're getting, I'm just blown away that it was only $12.99 US to get all of this. I have never seen them put out a DLC this big before, and I've had Planet Coaster 1 since it came out in beta. So yeah, this is a big DLC. Look at this. Look at those benches. I mean, this is just kind of a preview of what these guys are developing for us over at Frontier for the future. Look at these special effects, and we'll take a look at these at night also, along with these animations here. Look at that. The special effects, the animations, and we're going to go to nighttime as well after we color these up a little bit. And we did that just to kind of give you kind of a little bit different color, just to show you what's possible with these. But we'll look at these at night, and you'll be able to see how these look along with the effects that they do. Look at those sparkles coming off of those wands. That's awesome. So they're in the dark here, and what I'm going to do in a moment here is add some lighting so you can kind of get a better look at these characters here. these animatronics at night along with their effects. So we'll kind of warm up the light there and make it so it's not quite as bright, and then you'll be able to see what they look like. We'll change the color up a little bit here too to kind of give it that more sorcery vibe. Look at that. That's absolutely incredible. So, what do you think so far? Is this what you were hoping for? I know it is for myself and for Winslow. We were definitely hoping for this, and here it is, just in time for the Halloween holidays. And I accidentally knocked that light out again, but you got the idea there, what's possible with those pieces. So now we're going to, I mean, just look at that overhead view. Look at that. That is a ton of stuff that they've put together for us. The developers are just doing an incredible job here. So let's go ahead and look over here. We are going to look at the new attractions that they included here in the Sorcery Pack. We've got this right here, the Gale Force. Now the Gale Force, I'm still talking to Winslow as to where we may end up putting this attraction. It's not necessarily something that we look at and think, you know, that belongs in our park, but you never know. We're going to start it up here and put it in test mode. And again, this is at a faster speed than normal. We're at like 3 times speed here, just so you can kind of get a look at what it does. And so it swings obviously quite high, and the arm rotates up there, taking you to different heights. And I believe the seats can rotate as well. Yes, they do. You just saw that right there. And of course you have your colors that you can select and change up the patterns and things on here. And of course you can also do your ride sequence. You can see that at the top right, where you can set your sequences and have the ride follow specific sequences that you would like it to. That way you can customize this quite a bit. So for a flat ride, this one's kind of cool. Not sure where I'll use this yet, but you know, you'll get the idea later as once we do eventually implement this somewhere in our park. Yeah, we'll figure that out when the time comes. I'm thinking maybe this would fit better in the sci-fi area once we get that built up. So again, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure you're following us. Click that bell notification because we've got a lot coming soon. And next week, we are moving back into one of our other areas as we also continue to build out this area where the areas that you just saw that was excavated out, where we're showing you all these pieces. We have a whole brand new attraction going in there with this Sorcery DLC on Planet Coaster 2. So there's a good look at it. Again, you can see how customizable it is with color and everything else. The seats, the little ride operator booth there, the entire structure itself can be changed up. Now this is one Winslow and I are very excited about, the Flying Theater. Now if you've been to a lot of Disney theme parks, you know that they have Soarin' Around the World, Soarin' Over California, and there's a debate of course as to which version is better. I personally like both of them quite a lot. But this here is going to be incredible because this is where you can put your own custom video and music on this giant screen over here and ride this like a glider, just like in those attractions at the Disney parks that I just named. So we'll take a seat view here and we can look up and around. You can see the other riders, the floor, and look at that, just this huge screen. And we've already got ideas for that and what type of videos will be playing on that screen for this ride. And of course you do have your ride sequence, so you can make the ride move in a way that fits whatever video you put in there. And here we go, of course, changing up some of the colors just so you can kind of see how customizable this attraction is. You can also do the outer shell here. So we'll take a look at that and change up some of the colors and patterns for you. And you'll see what those are. And I'm going to use just kind of like crazy colors here just so you can kind of get an idea of the different shapes and everything and make them stand out quite a bit. So don't mind the colors too much. These will not stay the same. These are going to change, of course, to something a little more fitting for our attraction when we actually build this out. This will also be probably, I'm thinking this will fit better in our adventure area because of the plans that we have for the video we'll be using. Will fit more with an adventure theme rather than the sorcerer or fantasy theme. So this probably will not end up in this area of the park. Look at that again. I just can't believe how many things they've given us in this pack. And by given to us, I mean, you know, they provided it. So let's take a look at this guy here, Vesper. We are going to look at this guy right here. Look at this. We have a new character in the park. And he's a sorcerer, obviously, and he's got his magic book and his staff and everything with him, and we're going to take a look at him in the dark so you can kind of see what he does. You can hear him talking to you, and look at this. Special effects all around him. I am so glad we have these things for our parks now. This is absolutely a game changer. Look at that. That's going to be great seeing guests interact with this guy in the park. Okay, let's switch over here and we're going to take a look at our new coasters. So we have this one here, the sidecar coaster. This is going to be something that we will definitely use in our park. And we're going to take a look at it here and show you that these things are customizable. Here's some of the stats and the specifications. Yeah, specifications, right? Not stats. Stats come later. But the specifications for the coaster. And we will look at some other thing here. I forgot what I looked at here. Oh, yeah. We're going to show you the that it's colorable, of course. You can add ride photos and ride sync, so you can make rides start and finish at the same time. That's kind of cool. So you can select a whole bunch of attractions and have them sync up. So dueling coasters and things like that will be very, very possible. So we're going to just use this coaster here as an example to show you the colorability here. You can, you can color just about everything here. Wow, I need help today. It's been a long 4 or 5 days lately. And we're back in the heat out here in Arizona. It's been 110 degrees again. Well, maybe a little less than that, but pretty close, pretty close. Anyway, here we go. We're coloring up some of this coaster here. And this just looks awesome. Look at that. You can color everything all the way down to the wheels of the coaster, which you'll see right there. And again, I just used contrasting colors to give you an idea of what's possible there. And so you can see the differences between each thing. All right, so let's take a look at the next coaster here, the LSM Raid Coaster. So this one has lots and lots of abilities, and we'll take a look at those here in a moment. I mean, that's just a nice looking coaster, and I guarantee you it has a place in our park. Here's a look at its specifications and what its abilities are. This one is dual launch, so you can go backward or forward launch with this coaster. There are some other things that we'll show you in this in a little while, and again, you can change up the cosmetics on the vehicles and on the track, and of course add a ride camera, ride photo camera, and ride sync, just like the other one. Let's see here. What did I do right here? I think I was just kind of scrolling around a little bit, looking at the specs and everything, or what can be turned into specs. And then of course here we have our child coaster, the Vector Coaster, and again there's the specifications for that and a basic overview. These are really cool because you can even do a lift hill on a curve if you would like. And I kind of lost control. Of what I was doing there, but eventually gained control again and got this over here where we can take a look at it. Yeah, I went a little wild there. So here you can see we've got a look at this. This is going to be definitely used in our parks. And I'll let you know that this is probably going to be the attraction that goes here. You can see it has all the different parts here, station and everything, the different types of wheels and brake systems and all of that good stuff. And of course, ride camera and ride sync, and the cosmetics can be changed. But we're coming back over here for a moment because I wanted to show you some of the things that these attractions have and what their capabilities are. So I had to go over here to edit coaster. There we go. And here you can see all the different brake systems and the launch with the magnetic propulsion that goes in both directions. Now that is going to be awesome. This will definitely find its use in our park. So you also have your LSM there, so you can send your coasters at whatever speed you would like, with your minimum and maximum speeds, of course. And then you have your hold brakes and your slowing brakes, block brakes, and things like that. Here you have your switch tracks banked to the left and right. You have your different types of switch tracks which can enter and exit in different directions. You have your switch tracks that roll along and move left and right also. And then down here, we also have your turntables. So these are going to have a ton of flexibility and your ability to create whatever you would like with your coaster. So you have your up and down pieces that go up and down vertically. And then of course you have your lift pieces here that can move in different directions. So they can also send your cars forward and backward back into the station. Here, let's see, we go back over to this one and back to the raid coaster, and you'll see that this one also has all those same capabilities with your different types of tracks, your different types of LSMs, your braking systems, your turntables, your switch tracks, and your moving tracks. So all of this is available here in these coasters. So if nothing else has convinced you yet, I was convinced just seeing all the pieces that we got, but if nothing else has convinced you yet, this is definitely a DLC that I think you may really enjoy if you get to it. So that is a good look at all of the attractions, all of the pieces that we're getting here. And next week we have a couple of videos coming out, one of which will be right over here in this very spot that's been excavated out by our construction team. We'll get back into the storyline of Winslow Everhart and Everhart Kingdom and Bramblewick Hollow, which is this fantasy area. We also have another video coming out very soon where we will head back to our western area and we will work over there and kind of finish up some things there. Here you see the entrance to Bramblewick and our western area coming up in just a moment. You'll see that Wild Canyon, and we'll be working over there. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, remember the words of Winslow Everhart that I always remind you of every week. Build bigger, build bolder, and may your dreams become your reality. We'll see you all in the next episode of Planco Playbook.